Hey everyone, Christopher here, and welcome back to another episode of Fossil Forward Finds. Whew, we're in for a rough one. This is a What Sold video for March 15th through the 21st. And as you can see, the fish ain't biting. People aren't buying. Something about no discretionary income. Anyways, 18 orders, total of $245.71 gross, which is worse than I was doing when I was doing this part-time. So not great, and I don't have a lot of hours at the part-time job. So I did make two great sales yesterday, but yesterday was Sunday in a different week, so you'll have to wait till the next week video for that one. But I'm not going to really scroll through here, and well, I am going to scroll through here, but I ain't going to talk about much because you're going to see most of it. You're going to see 10 out of the 18 orders here, so let's just jump into it. Alrighty, well, rough week, but we're going to make the most of it anyways for this video. To start off, of course, we go with the non-postcard items, which there are not too many to choose from, but here's a found photo, sold for $16.99 on offer. I think within 24 hours, actually. I could have probably waited to try to get the full price, but I was happy. You saw the week I had. Sometimes you just got to make things gone. But this one I got from Ozark Time Traveler on Whatnot for $2.16. Tiny photo, 2x3 inches, and you can see it's rough cut, so it's like bigger on one side than the other. But it's fun. It shows three women, one holding like a long-barreled pistol of some sort, with big old wow, words, wearing sun hats. So it's a cute little image, and you got a horse with a carriage in the background, or wagon, or whatever, so nothing on the back. So quick sale, turned 2 into 16, not too bad at all. I didn't even have the image filed away yet into inventory before it sold, so made packing nice and simple. Another found photo, this is another one that sold within a couple days of listing it. I listed it March 11th. But in any case, this is another photo. It's a Polaroid size, square. German Shepherd. Got this from Ferrari's Finds for about $1 each. There was a lot of four that I paid $4 for. This one sold for, what was it, $13.49? I think it was $13.49 on offer. But cute little German Shepherd, and then the woman's got cat eye glasses on. Just a nice piece overall. Back it's upside down, but the back shows that it's Kodak color, 1959. As I've mentioned before, I always pick up German Shepherd pieces when I can find them, which is not as often as you would think. But I have a number of buyers on eBay that do specifically pick up German Shepherds, and thankfully I have a number of people on Whatnot, like Ferrari's Finds and Penguin Boss as well, who has a German Shepherd. They actually list a lot of German Shepherd stuff these days, so I've been sourcing from them. If you like German Shepherds and you want to skip the middleman, go to them. Couple stickers. I don't usually show the sticker sales because they are the low-hanging fruit. They're easy to list, easy to ship, and they're usually inexpensive for me to pick up and inexpensive for the buyer. But that's, it's just bread and butter kind of items. But this one's neat. It's Star Wars, so of course Star Wars is always a good one to have. But it's Queen Amidala, or I guess Senator Amidala in this case, from the second of the prequel movies. But her in pinup form, or let's be honest, basically how she dressed in the actual movie. There's the back there, 2 inches, sold for the full asking of $5.99. It does go eBay standard envelope, which is another reason why I like selling stickers. I paid about 20 cents for it from In a Violet World on Whatnot. So 20 cents into $6. Pretty quick. When did I list it? I listed it in January of this year, so it didn't stick around too long. So, and then the other horse, this one I got from Penguin Boss that I mentioned earlier. She has had a few sticker lots that I picked up recently, which included some German Shepherd stickers, so they're in the store if you're interested. But as you saw in the last What Sold video, I sold a bunch of horse postcards. Horses, they may not necessarily sell for a lot in most cases for me. They do sell fairly consistently, so I am happy to find horse-related items, especially this little 2-inch sticker, which watercolor horse head themed there, whatever. It's just got a nice aesthetic to it. $7.99. I don't remember exactly. I think I paid like $10 after shipping and such for 50 stickers from Penguin Boss. So this basically pays for most of the lot, and then everything else after that will be gravy. All right, moving on to the postcards. This one was I sold 10 of these. Britches, great outdoors fashion brand. 10 of these to the same buyer. You see, I originally listed them at $5.49 each, so they were already at my base price or my new-ish base price. But I've had them listed for a while. You can see SKUs in the 12,000s. I'm in the 24 to 25,000 now, so half a SKU ago, whatever. And I went back and forth with the buyer a couple times. I told them if they purchased everything together, they would get 20% off automatically. That was still too high to them, but I've had these listed for a while. You saw my sales this week. They weren't great, so I was like, make me a counter offer. And they basically countered me at $2 each. And of course, with this quantity of items, I can't send an eBay standard envelope. 3 to 4 items is really your limit for eBay standard envelope. So I did have to eat the ground advantage shipping as well. So I only made $11.53 after shipping and fees. I got this from Postcard and Prosecco in one of the large advertising lots, probably like 500 to 700 cards that I probably paid $20 to $30 for. So in the grand scheme of things, this is fine. A fine sale pays for most of that purchase, and I have hundreds of other cards that'll trickle out. But sometimes you just got to make things gone. This goes to a former employee, allegedly. That's what they told me after the fact. They didn't use that as a selling point to have me give them a low purchase price. But sometimes you just got to let things go. This sale actually brought my store up above 5,000 items sold. So a nice little milestone there as well. Whatever, so you can't get emotionally attached to everything, and I honestly have no attachment to this card. So it's gone. We're happy. Moved it on. Made some space in the boxes. All right. Next 2 items. Scotland made an appearance this week for whatever reason. This card, I think I got it says I got it on eBay, but it was a lot of these Dolls of the World series, or Dolls of Many Lands, I guess is what it was called. And they're dressed in the native outfits of the various countries represented. In this case, Scotland. So you got the kilt there. That's the back. They don't sell for a lot. The prices vary depending on the country. I guess some are probably more collectible than others. But this was the one for Scotland, sold for the full asking of $6.99. This is where we're at this week as far as shares. Listed it in, that's Jadzia shredding paper. It's listed in June of 2024, so it's been up for a bit. So happy to move that one along. But in contrast, this one has only been listed for a few days. I accepted a pretty quick offer for $15. I had it listed for $20. I actually have a second one of these coming out sometime later this month, I believe. I had to duplicate, so I listed one right away, and I scheduled the other one further out. And I think the second one might be up at auction just for funsies. I don't remember. But we got a Scottish soldier. He's got a Glencarry cap going on there. So World War I era. There's a little blind stamp there that says Edinburgh, and Army O'Days. So yeah, there you go. So there's the O'Days part, and then the Edinburgh's there. You got the little line blind stamp. And there's the back there. So nice little sale. Interesting to sell 2 Scotland pieces in 1 week, even though they went to separate buyers, and I think they both stayed stateside. Okay. Yeah. I just put this one up because it's fun. It's a purple pig. I sold it for my old base price of $4.99. I've had it listed since June of 2023, so nearly 3 years to sell a $5 pig. This is not me getting rich, folks. This is not really paying the bills. But you see the postcard boxes behind me somewhere. They don't take up a lot of space, so I don't mind selling the low end items, especially when they're fun like this. I mean, this is clearly bad Photoshop, unless someone dyed a pig purple for whatever reason. But it's fun. Photo by George Dudley, 1982. There's your back there. I wouldn't run out and buy these if you find them, but they're a fun little addition if you have them in a bulk lot. All right, we're almost to the end there. Had to share the geology postcard because, of course, I did. Another $6.99 sale. This one was listed also in 2023. So we are getting some old inventory which is good. But this shows a gold mine. It's the Empire Mine in California. So you can see some of the railway tracks there for where they brought the mine carts in and out. There's the back. I had 2 of these, so there's still one left if you're interested. I bought this at the Ithaca Book Fair back in 2023. I've done a few videos now of my times going to the Ithaca book shows and some hauls from there, so check those out if you haven't already. I think this was Continental size, not that that really matters, but obviously I like selling the geology postcards, so I pick them up even if they're not high dollar or high speed sellers. It's my niche. And then we're going to end off with the best sale of the week, the goodest boy. This is a Great Dane real photo postcard. Pat Hager's Great Dane specifically from Sulphur Springs, Colorado. Kodak back there. Hot Sulphur Springs, my bad. I don't know if that's a difference. And I don't know if Pat is the dog or if it is Pat Hager. But in any case, gorgeous looking Great Dane. You can see it's got like a little chain leash going on there. Sold really quickly for $28 on offer. I bought it from Ozark Time Traveler for $2.16 on Whatnot. I could have waited out for the full $35, but again, was happy to make a quick sale, and a good sale at that. I've only met a Great Dane once, and it was quite the experience. I was at an archaeology site laying flags. A friend and I were doing a geophysical survey, and all of a sudden I hear this yelling, and I'm kneeling down on the ground at this point, and I'm not a tall person to start with. And I just look up, and there's this Great Dane barreling across this open field at me. And I'm just like, well, I ain't outrunning this thing, so I just stayed there to see what happened. And ultimately, it turned off and was just running through the field, living its best life. Everything was perfectly fine. The yelling I heard was its owner trying to get it to come back. But for that brief moment, I thought that was the end. I was going to get mauled by a Great Dane, and the end of that. But anyways, that's enough rambling. I hope your sales are doing better than mine. They have to be doing better than mine. I already know this week is starting off better because I had 2 great sales Sunday. Hopefully that keeps on throughout the week because I need a boost. But that's it for now. We'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.